A very good morning to all of you friends. Once again, we are going to study about sorting materials into groups. Okay, we were studying about basic properties of substances. Now today our topic is conductors and non-conductors of electricity. That is another basic property of substances or materials. Okay. Now let us see what is conductor. What do you mean by conductors of electricity and what do you mean by non-conductors of electricity? Okay, by the help of a diagram you can see here. Suppose this is a conductor of electricity. That means it is a metal stripe that is made up of maybe copper or aluminium or iron or silver or gold. So it is a metal or metallic stripe. Okay. Now this metal has got some free electrons in them. That is the reason why they can conduct or allow electricity to pass through them from one terminal to another terminal. So what do you mean by conductors? Conductors are those materials or substances which allow electricity or which permit electricity to flow through them. Okay, the scientific reason is because they have free electrons in them. So they can conduct electricity from one electron to another and from one terminal to another terminal. So electricity can easily flow through them. Okay, now it can be copper, it can be silver, aluminium or iron or gold. That means any metal. So basically all the metals are capable of conducting electricity through them. Okay, because electricity basically means flow of charge. Electricity means flow of charged particles which are known as electrons. So electricity is the flow of electrons. So only those substances which have electrons in them, they are capable of conducting electricity, and such substances or materials are known to be as conductors. They are said to be conductors or good conductors. Please remember, conductors and good conductors both are same. Okay, previously the term good conductors were used. Nowadays people use conductor. So conductor means, conductor of electricity means any material that permits or allows electricity to flow through them. Okay, let us see some examples like copper, silver, aluminium, gold, okay, iron and almost all metals. Also the metallic alloy. So what is alloy? Alloy is a mixture of two or more metals in a definite proportion. Like bronze is a alloy. Okay, like you can say stainless steel, that is also an alloy. So alloy are mixture of one or more metals. Also you can see here non-metallic substances like graphite. Okay, so graphite is a non-metallic substance which has the capacity to allow electricity to flow through it. Like this is the graphite. You can see a pencil has a graphite. This graphite, when you touch it, it is slippery. That means it has electrons in them. Okay, free electrons are present. So this graphite is also a very good conductor of electricity in spite of being a non-metal, because it is a rock, isn't it? And let us see any other substance that can help in conduction of electricity or not. Yes, tap water. Okay, tap water, because tap water has minerals in it like sodium, chloride, potassium, etc. So tap water can also conduct electricity. Okay, solutions of acid, alkali or salts in water, they are also capable of conducting electricity. For example, if you take some pure water, mind you, listen carefully, if you take pure water, that pure water is also known as distilled water. Okay, that is produced in the laboratories, used for making medicines and chemicals, etc. So pure water or distilled water cannot conduct electricity because it does not have sodium, potassium or chloride metals in it. So it cannot conduct electricity. Please remember, okay? Listen carefully. The distilled water or pure water cannot conduct electricity. But tap water or mineral water, or if we dissolve some amount of acid or alkali or salts in water, it can be capable of conducting electricity. Okay, so remember, if some amount of acid or alkali or salts are dissolved in water, it helps in conduction of electricity. It becomes a conductor of electricity. Maybe not as good as metals like copper or aluminium, but to some extent they can conduct electricity. Okay, so the best conductors are like silver, like copper, like aluminium. Okay, now on the basis of this property, conductivity, that means conductors which can allow electricity to flow through them. So on the basis of this property, we can make use of conductors. Okay, how do we make use of conductors? Now we use these conductors like metals and all, we make them objects, we make objects which are useful in our day-to-day life. Like if you see these two terminals, okay, of the phone cable, here you see these are called the conductors because they are made up of metal like stainless steel. Okay, so they help in conduction of electricity. But these are the insulator, this is an insulator. Again, if you see this plug, you can see these are conductors, okay, metallic ones. Again, this is an insulator. So in this way, by the help of this property, we can make certain substances in our day-to-day lives. Okay, so conductors are used to make electric wires, like the electric wire that you see in our house. Okay, then they are used to make cables, that is telephone cables and all you have seen. Then they are utilized to make electrical appliances. Okay, the negative and positive terminals are batteries or cells or bulbs. Okay, and every kind of electrical appliance or heating elements, the elements which heat, so heating elements. Okay, so these are the importance of conductors in our day-to-day lives. Now let us see what are the importance of non-conductors or insulators. Just now I told you that this is an insulator because it is made up of PVC. Okay, what is PVC? PVC is polyvinyl chloride, that means plastics. Okay, now these plastics, they are non-conductors of electricity. Similarly, wood, rubber, paper, okay, and every sort of plastic, they are called non-conductors of electricity because they do not allow electricity to flow through them. Okay, so on the basis of conductivity, substances can be divided into two parts: conductors or good conductors of electricity, non-conductors or insulators. Okay, now what is the use of insulators? Insulators are used to make the covering of bodies of heating elements, okay, or conductors, so that we don't get shock. Okay, so we have to be very careful when we are working with electrical appliances. Like rubber slippers, you have seen an electrical person or a mechanic who is coming, a technical person who is coming to your house for preparing the electrical wirings and all, they wear slippers or shoes which are made up of rubber or PVC, isn't it? Because it is an insulator and it will prevent from getting shock. So the insulators, they do not allow electricity to flow through them. They are only used as a preventive covering so that we don't get shock while we are working with electrical appliances. Okay, so this is a very you can say important basic property of substances. Okay, conductivity, how it can allow certain substances, how they allow electricity to flow through them. Now our next topic today is what is the advantage of grouping, or more scientifically classification. Okay, now grouping means in your house you see so many different types of substances which are present. Okay, either in the kitchen or your you can say bookshelf, or if you go to a grocery shop, or if you go to a vendor, vegetable vendor, or if you go to a medicine shop or a library, you will see that things are grouped according to alphabets or according to subjects. Like in a library, okay, according to subjects or according to class, the books are grouped, isn't it? So what is the advantage of this grouping or classification? Now grouping means when we identify certain substances on the basis of similarities that they have. Okay, so we group them into separate classes. That is called classification. So classification is the practice by which we separate or classify separate things, okay, according to some basic similarities that they have. That is called classification. Now what is the importance of this classification? By the help of classification, see, we can handle our objects or belongings very easily. Okay, it makes our work very convenient. It makes us easy to find the objects. Like in a kitchen, if you see in a kitchen, your mother has kept everything, she has arranged everything in proper shelves. Okay, the spices in one side, the biscuits and snacks in one side, the water containers in another side. So in this way she has arranged everything, so it is easy to handle. Okay, becomes convenient for us to work with it. It helps us to easily find certain things. Okay, so it is a very convenient way of handling our belongings. Okay, that is, some examples are like a grocery shop, a medicine shop, okay, or a library. So in this way we see that when we group certain things according to the basic similarities that they have, it becomes very convenient for us to handle those substances. Okay, and it also looks very neat and tidy. So please go through the summary that I will upload. Okay, write all these assignments in your class copies, and homework in that sense or assignment in that sense is only to learn these topics. Okay, so write them in a class copy and learn them accordingly. Also go through your books in order to find out more differences between conductors and insulators, or examples or definitions of grouping, classification, etc. Okay, now one more simple thing that I would like to share, that is the difference between conductors and insulators. Conductors are those materials which allow electricity to pass through them. Insulators or non-conductors are those substances which do not permit electricity to flow through them. Okay, conductors are used to make heating elements or electrical appliances, and insulators are used to make the covering of those electrical appliances. Okay, so it prevents us from getting shock. Okay, so please go through the assignments and learn them. Thank you so much for watching this video.